from the Penn Libraries.
So I'm going to apologize in advance for some of the images, but perhaps we shouldn't have had a pathologist speak right before lunch. So I'm the course organizer for the veterinary class of the Vet Path course. It's a huge course. It's got about 125 students. It's 96 lecture hours and 64 laboratory hours. So we need ways to ensure that students are keeping up with this dense material, but also staying engaged with these very long 6 to 8 hour days of lecture. And so a couple ways that I've tried is through using Poll Everywhere, which, as was mentioned earlier, this is an application, a web application, in which polls, or as I call them, quick quizzes, are embedded into presentations, and students can use their phones or laptops to enter responses onto the web page or via text or tweet. Most of the time, they'll just text in the answers. The students' responses update in real time and allows me to gauge their understanding of materials that I just presented. And then to go back and review the material that I'm seeing they're not getting. And so as an example, this is, these could be multiple choice. And so this is a question about showing the gross and histologic picture of necrosis. And I just gone over these different types of necrosis, and I was able to see most people are getting it, some people aren't. And I went back and reviewed the concepts that delineate between these different types. You can also do free entry as this clinical vignette of a 14-year-old lab, which this is a spleen, by the way, and what's the most likely diagnosis. And then these kind of scroll up real time as they're entering, and I can go back and assess whether or not they're getting it. So next, sorry, this is fast, I use in-class games. And again, this is just a way to keep them interested. So we play bingo, or as I call it, patho, and this is neoplasia bingo, so cancer. And so they get their sheets, and then they get to fill them out. And what I do is through a PowerPoint presentation, I ask things like, question a benign tumor, fibroblasts. Students must then know that the answer is fibroma, and then find that on their playing card and mark it off. We can also do histology picks, same idea here, but this is a photomicrograph showing melanoma, so they have to know that's a melanoma, find it on the board, and keep going. Of course, there's treats for anybody who wins. And on the very, very last day of class, this is, after over 100 hours of contact time, we play Jeopardy. And so I use the hyperlink function in PowerPoint to allow students to select categories. They go into teams, and then each time you hyperlink into something, it goes back to the main board. So let's say a student or a team chose Stinky Hall of Fame for 20. It takes them to this answer. This disease is seen often in our puppies in ES. Again, sorry for the picture. So then the students must then answer in the form of a question. So what is canine parvovirus? And then I hyperlink back to the main board. At the end, once we're all said and done, we can hyperlink back through that little pink square to the final Jeopardy question, which is for them to write down the pathogenesis of a sequela of hyperthyroidism seen in cats, sorry. And this is so second nature to me, I don't even think it's gross anymore. So they have to go from hyperthyroidism, these are thyroid glands, to a distal aorta thrombus, and walk me through that whole thing. And again, at the end, there's candy, and it's really a lot of fun, and it keeps them interested. All right, I'm done.